Good afternoon. I'm going to answer a couple more questions here about, I guess, some of my growing methods. Um, I grow a lot of my plants in lava rock or pea gravel or river rock, and there's reasons behind it. Um, I actually prefer pea gravel or river rock over the lava rock, um, mainly because the lava rock retains more nutrients. It's a little bit harder to flush. Um, it does float occasionally if I dip a plant really, or have a plant sitting in water. It does occasionally float out of it because it's a little bit porous. But the pea gravel, and it's lightweight also. I think that's one of the benefits of the lava rock is it's very lightweight. Pea gravel and river rock can have a little bit tendency to be a little bit heavy in a pot, but you get a great big plant. It doesn't knock over. Wind blows it, doesn't knock over. I don't ever have a plant get knocked over in any of my pots. I mean, it has to be pretty heavy wind to knock something like this over, and I think in anybody else's plants would be across the yard before mine might just get knocked over. This is hydrotone, or what they call lecca beads. Lightweight expanded clay aggregate. That's what lecca stands for. It's what they call a sterile medium, and that's because it's sterile as a growing term. It's not a medical term like it's bacterial free or that kind of thing. It's sterile is more of a growing term, and it means that it doesn't provide any nutrition. It's just a barren medium, no nutrition. This is no different than using Legos. This particular hydrotone right here in front of me, or lecca, is, I don't know, maybe 12 years old. I've never boiled it. I've never done anything to it. I use it right out of the package. If your pots are being clogged up, if the holes in your pots are being clogged up by dust from these, then you need to find different pots to use. You have way too small drain holes. There's nothing wrong with rinsing this off when you get it because it has a lot of dust on it when it's packed and shipped, just because it moves on each other and it's abrasive. So it does that. But there's no reason to boil it. I do see some people boil it. You can do that if that makes you feel better, by all means. Whatever floats your boat, whatever makes you feel better, and gives you confidence in your growing. That's what you got to do. That's what you should do. So boiling it, if that's what you want to do, by all means, boil it. But it's not necessary. This has had, I couldn't tell you how many thousands and thousands or tens of thousands of gallons of nutrients these pellets I'm holding in my hand have had ran through them. And other than being flushed with water, nothing's ever been done to them. And there's probably been, I don't know, several thousand, probably close to 5,000 or 6,000 plants grown in these pellets too. A lot of bedding plants and vegetables, stuff like that, that were grown on these pellets as well. These right here in front of me. And you can see the condition of them. They have no mineral content. There's a broken one right there. They have no mineral content. I see people ask a question occasionally. Some of them float, some of them don't. That's not because of mineral content or anything else. It's part of their production process. This is made by dropping clay into a great big tumbler, kind of like a concrete mixer, and it's heated. And the mixer rolls it into balls, and then when it's heated up, the moisture in it expands, kind of like popcorn does in a kernel, and it puffs up and it leaves, it expands this, and you get all kinds of little air pockets in it. That's why when you drop it into water, some of them float and some of them don't. Some of them have more air pockets than some of the others, or might be expanded more than some of the others. That one's not expanded very much. That one's not expanded very much. As that one. That one will probably float real well. Anyway, these also absorb a lot of nutrients, so you have to flush them on a regular basis. Flush them. River rock, some of the little fowls. We didn't mean to do that, but that's all right. That's a great part about gravel. It doesn't go anywhere. These right here, that's another bad thing about these. That's probably one of their biggest faults. This is a #1 trip hazard. You drop some of these on your floor and forget about them or don't see them, and later on in the evening you find those, and you're on Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. So keep that in mind as well. The pea gravel and river rock, one of the reasons I like it is because it doesn't hold nutrients. It anchors the plant fantastic. The plants grow like crazy. You can see this has only been in there, I don't know, 30 days maybe, but look at the root growth on it. It just goes crazy. You can rinse it. You can dunk the entire thing underwater. You can dip the entire thing underwater and leave it underwater. It flushes extremely easy as compared to this or lava rock. It adds a little bit of ballast to it. It doesn't deteriorate. It doesn't rot. This fowl can sit in here until it's just either too big for it or until I need to slip it into another pot. At that point, I'm just going to take the pot, gravel and all, slip it into a little bit bigger pot, put a couple of pieces of gravel around it to hold it, and that's its next home for the next 5 years or whatever. You don't have to take it back out of the pot. That will never rot, doesn't deteriorate. Same with this one. It's in gravel. A little bit of moss on it. Help it get hydrated because we're 95 to 100 degrees here, Alabama. But you can see the root growth. That's a happy little plant. No issues with hydration. When these get moved inside during the wintertime, I'll do it the same way I do outside, and that's soak them. I don't just dip them or lightly spray them or mist them during the daytime. I soak them, and they get soaked good till they hydrate and get as plump as they can get, and I don't think they can hold any more water. Then they get hung up. And that may last them for 2 or 3 days, 4 days, and then I'll soak them again for a couple hours, maybe a half a day. Usually it's just a couple hours all it takes for little guys like this. But the bigger ones, in gravel as well, same thing. They get treated the exact same way. Watch the leaves and let the leaves tell you what the plant wants. Let the roots tell you what the plant needs. It tells you if it's hydrated or if it's not, or if it needs water, if it's slightly hydrated, or if it needs more. If you're having to water every single day, you're either not watering long enough, or I don't know, there's something wrong with your plant. I don't know. You shouldn't have to do that on an orchid. You shouldn't have to. This is one of our project phals that we had. It's actually hydrating pretty nice. I'm gonna leave it soaking in here. I need to throw a tea bag in there actually. This is the one behind it. That's another one's planting river rock. You can see the root growth. Very happy. That's a dendrobium. That's a dendrobium chanchow. We're just starting to open up. Just starting to. These are it's an antelope dendrobium. We'll show it in a couple of days when it opens up. Anyway, wanted to mention a couple of those points, show a couple of these things, and I don't know, maybe it'll help somebody. Have a great day.